A corporation may do so, all corporate entities and labor unions may do so.
But let's be clear about that. The Constitution guarantees the freedom of the press. Nothing in McCain-Feingold ever attempted to restrict what media entities do, and the Congress has never attempted to do it. It's one thing to say that Fox News has a right to, engage in its political propaganda on the air. Fine, everybody agrees with that. Can it also turn around and take $10 or $20 million out of profit and put it into particular political campaigns?
Well,
as well as McDonald's and Halliburton Corporation and Blackwater and Enron and Goldman Sachs and Bank of America? I mean, one thing Congress has got to do at this point is to say, if you get federal bailout money, if you get federal contract money as a corporation, you are not permitted to engage in political expenditures in the United States of America. Because essentially what that's doing is taking the money of the taxpayers, giving it to Wall Street corporations, then allowing them to turn around and tell us how to vote. That turns us into something like a corporate state.
So you have moved, if I'm following you, from right of the press to large amounts that corporations make to bans on federal contractors. Let me take the first one if I can. Of course, there is a right of the press to engage under the First Amendment in politics, in speech of any kind. But the press, Jamie, is an activity. It's not a class of individuals or actors or a class of participants in our society. It is an activity. If the First Amendment were written today, it would have in it freedom of the internet. But there's no such people with internet in their hat bands walking around saying, I'm the internet. The press is an activity, and it applies to all people. And particularly these days,
to all people.
And persons under our laws. We can get to the persons issue in a moment versus individuals. I know you'd like to talk about that. But under our system, the press is, as I've mentioned, an activity. But here's, actually I've forgotten the point I want to make because you keep asking me all these other things, but I'll get back to it in a moment. Sorry, Greta.
That's all right. Well, I think we've laid the foundation for the arguments for and against. And we'll get, so let's go to phone calls, and then if you think of it, you can circle back.
I know you'd like to talk about that. But here's, actually I've forgotten the point I want to make because you keep asking me all these other things.